I'm going to tell you a story today. It's story time. Today I'm going to be sharing my story of my near drowning experience. So I know for me, I've heard car accidents and they have affected me, but I think I'm over that and I've moved past that. But there's this one incident which has happened in my life, and I feel like I'm still affected by it. Okay, I didn't realize that I was affected by the event, but it affected me. Definitely, it did affect me. So here goes my story. So I think it was in 2018, and I was in India that time, and it was in December, I remember. And we had gone to this place called Goa in India. It's a great place, by the way. Lots of beaches there. So I was with my friends there, and we were at the beach. And well, I don't know how to swim. I don't even know how to swim, so I don't even know what I was doing in the water. But I remember that time I was in the water with my friend, and we were just playing around and all. The water was like, it was in my waist. It was in my waist, but then in my head I was like, it's harmless. Nothing is going to happen. I'm just having fun with my friend. So what my friend forgot to tell me was, every time a wave comes, like I was supposed to jump. So my friend forgot to tell me that whenever a wave come, I was supposed to jump, and I didn't know about that. So, and then this big wave came, and the wave came, and there I was. I tripped, and I fell, and I was drowning in the water. So it was scary. I remember it was scary because I lost my balance and I didn't know how to swim. At the same time, I didn't know that, I could just stand up and, just stand still and be okay. But because I didn't know how to swim, I started struggling and fighting with the water. And then my friend was calling me and she's like, Rumbi, just stand. You need to stand. In my head, I was like, girl, why are you telling me to stand when you can see I'm drowning here? I'm about to die and you're asking me to stand. How is that even possible? So I kept struggling. So my head would go under the water and then I would come up because I was trying to breathe. And at the same time, I was drinking water and it was chaotic. So it happened for quite some time. In my head, I kept thinking, okay, my friend is she's beside me. So definitely she's going to help me. And in my friend's head, she was like, I was thinking, this girl can just stand. Why can't she not just stand? So she waited for a while thinking that I was going to stand, but I didn't. So I kept struggling and I was kind of losing hope. I thought I was going to die. And then she came and she held me and, she dragged me out of the water. But it was so scary, you guys. It was super scary. And everyone at the beach was just staring at me because I almost drowned. And I remember blood started coming out of my nose and I was just coughing and I was shaking. I was literally shaking, and it was a terrible experience, a terrible one. And we got out of the water, and then, my other friend who was just sitting there watching us, he started laughing. He's like, what were you even doing in water? And then I'm just there, my friends are laughing at me, but then I'm thinking in my head, oh my gosh, I almost died, and I'm in a foreign land, I'm not at home, and it was just a terrible experience for me. So after the incident, I think I was okay, but obviously, at the back of your head, it's like, I almost died, and I just wasn't okay. Then fast forward to, I think it was like 2019 or so, I went out with my friends and then we decided to swim. And here I am thinking, oh, I can be in the water, So the moment I got in the water, I started shaking. My legs started shaking. My heart started beating fast. I became weak. And I didn't understand what was happening. But it's like all the memories started coming, those memories of me almost drowning. They started coming, and there I was, just there standing, and I couldn't move. And my friends were like, "What's wrong with you? Why can't you just walk in the water?" But I couldn't even lift my legs. Like, I just froze there in the water. I couldn't move. I couldn't walk. And the water was not even, it was just in my waist, you guys. But I was so scared. I was so terrified of the water. That's when I realized that, oh, this incident actually had a huge impact on me. Like, it definitely affected me, but I didn't realize that it had. I only got to realize that until I got in the water. That's when I realized that, oh, so I was actually traumatized. Like, the past event did traumatize me, and, it left me, in a different state, but I didn't know that. I only got to know that when I had to go in the water. So it happened that every single time I would get in the water, my legs would start shaking and my heart would start beating fast, and I would just freeze, like I can't move. And I remember most of the times when we would get in the water, my friends would have to come, and then they would hold my hands, and then we would walk and all. So I know maybe some of you guys have seen my pictures, or they've seen my videos of me in water looking like I'm having fun. Truth is, I wasn't having fun at all. Like, for me, that was so terrifying and so scary. But obviously, you want to be in the water. You want to be there, and you want to have fun with your friends. But truth is, I wasn't really, like, a part of me was just scared. Like, oh my gosh, what if I drown again? What if what happened in 2018 happened again? So that's how I realized that, okay, this event affected me. So I'm sure we all have, I don't know, like, some of you have been in car accidents or just different, types of accidents. But you don't realize that accident has actually affected you. You only get to realize it maybe when you sit in the car and you're terrified and you start thinking about, that event, or, you start having flashbacks. For me, if I see people in water, I start having all those memories where I almost drowned. And even right now, as I'm talking to you guys, my heart is literally beating, like, it's beating fast, and I feel weak and all. I think just the thought of the event, I don't know, it just, like, triggers everything, and my body starts responding. And I would like to believe that that's what happens with trauma most of the times. You get in an accident, or you witness an accident, the next thing you find yourself, oh, why am I afraid of, being in the car? Or why am I afraid of, crossing the road? Most of the times it's because of that particular event you experienced, and that event affected you, but in that moment you didn't realize that it actually affected you mentally. You only see now with the trauma responses. Now you're in a situation which is almost similar, and then your body starts reacting, and you get into that flight or fight mode where you want to fight, and at the same time you want to run, because the situation is just terrifying and it's just scary. So I decided to come and share my story, because I realized that, most of us we're just there in our houses, at home, we're just living our lives. But you have that one event, or you have that one incident that changed your life forever. And in that moment, you didn't realize that that event or that particular incident changed your life. And then now you find yourself, maybe your heart is beating, you find yourself you're weak, you find yourself you're having nightmares, you find yourself struggling, but you don't know where the struggle is coming from. Most of the times it's coming from that accident that you went through, that accident you experienced. So I decided to come today so that I could, just share my story and just help you guys out there to know that, you know what, these things are real and these things happen. And when you find yourself in a situation where now you don't understand maybe why your heart is beating, why you're scared, why you're anxious, just remember that it's that accident that you went through, or maybe that accident that you witnessed. I once mentioned when I started the live that I also at some point were in car accidents. I remember at one time I was afraid of getting in a combi. There was this one time when I had 2 accidents, I think in the same month, and all of them I was in a combi. So at some point I was scared of getting in a combi. Like, I was literally scared of just getting in a car and going to town or just going somewhere. It was because of the accidents I experienced. So I don't know, you might know a friend, you might know a sister, you might know a brother who have been in an accident, who have gone through something that was terrifying or something that was unusual. You probably need to talk to them, tell them to talk to someone so that they can get help. I didn't get help with, the near drowning experience. But then when I started doing this, this series, the trauma series, that's when I realized that, oh, you know what, I actually need to deal with this. I actually need to work on this because it's something that's going to keep affecting me, and I'm pretty sure that we all know that, swimming it's a life skill that's needed. Like, it's important that we all need to know how to swim or learn how to swim, because you don't know, you might probably go in a boat, or I don't know where you can go, and then you find yourself falling in water and you don't know what to do and you don't know how to swim. Or you might have a niece or a daughter or anyone who may fall in the water and you don't know how to swim, and then you just watch them, struggling. So these are some of the skills that we need to have. In as much as it sounds fancy, I know it's not fancy, but some people it might sound fancy, but I would like to believe that we all need to learn to swim, because one day you might find yourself in water and then you probably drown, or you get to go through what I went through. I was there in the water, but never did I think that I was going to drown, or I was going to struggle and fight with water. So for me, well, I'm still trying to cope, like I said. So coping, most of the times, if you find yourself in a situation where you've gone through an accident, you definitely need to find someone to talk to. It's very important that you find someone to talk to. It could be a counselor, it could be a therapist, it could be a friend, but just find someone to talk to, because you might think you're all okay, but you won't be okay. You only know that you're not okay when you probably find yourself in the same situation, or when you probably hear maybe that a friend or someone else was in an accident. That's when you'll be like, oh, I don't think I'm okay. So it's important that you find someone to talk to. And I think it's also important to, try to push yourself to be in water, or to be in a car, or, to just try to put yourself, through the same experience. I'm not saying that if you're in a car accident, then you have to be in another car accident. No. If you're in a car accident, obviously it's going to be difficult for you to be in a car. So try to learn and, to go back and just get in a car, go to town, or just try to push yourself to get in a combi. It also helps. It's more like, you're desensitizing yourself. You're prepping yourself, or what can I say? You're trying to, get over that fear of fear of being what can I say? Yeah, you're just getting over, that fear. So I think I'm done for today. I just wanted to share my experience with you guys, and I just wanted to let everyone out there know that these things are real, and We go through trauma every single day. We experience traumatic things every single day. It's just that we don't know that these things are affecting us, and we don't know that these things are actually, messing with our minds. And then most of the times, when you're in a situation where you're now responding to a certain event, or you're responding to a certain incident, you now don't understand what's happening to you. So if you find yourself in that situation, then definitely just know that you need help, and just know that there are people out there who can really help. If you know someone, or if you've been in an accident and you need help, I'm here also to help. You can get in touch with me, or get in touch with your friend or any family member or anyone. So thank you guys for joining today. I think I'm going to end here. Today's episode was just short and precise because I was here to just tell my story and talk about accident trauma. But it's very important that you're welcome, Ashley. It's very important that we pay attention to these things mostly. Okay, I'm an adult, but I'm sure you probably have, kids at your home who have, had small accidents and all those things. What is trauma? Okay, so trauma is it's an emotional response that a person has when they go through an unexpected event or an unusual event. So, for example, accidents, what can I say, disasters, abuse, rape, anything that's unusual. If anyone goes through something that's unusual, how they respond to that event is the trauma. So that's what trauma is. I hope you're answered at Apostolic Gospel RC. I hope you're answered. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm here to answer them. But if you don't have questions, then I think I'm done for the day. We will meet next week. So this marks the end of the trauma series. So next week we're going to be talking about depression. Oh, it's Wency. Oh, hi, Wency. Hi, Wency. So next week we're going to start a new series. We are going to be talking about depression. We are living in a world where we are going through so many things, and we're living in a world where life is just hard. I'm sure wherever you are, I don't know about, other countries, but if you're in Zimbabwe, then we all know that Zim is hard. Zimbabwe muruku pisa. So you might find yourself, having depression, or someone who is suffering from depression. So next week we're going to be talking about depression. We're going to explain what depression really is, and then we're going to talk about the symptoms. We're going to talk about how to cope and deal with depression. So be sure to join in next week. And then I'm definitely going to bring in more people who are going to come and share their stories, talk about how the experiences when they had depression and how they dealt with it. So thank you very much, guys, for joining. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm out.